This is Boxing Tickets NI in association with SB Sports. We're here at the final press conference for McCrory Woodall, and delighted to be joined with one half of the promotional setup. It's not very often, Mick, we obviously have you, you're not fighting obviously in these cards. I know when we had the press conference there, you were sort of saying it feels strange, I'm not here, but for once, obviously Jamie's not doing all the work and you're sort of having to do a bit yourself as well.
That's it. I've got my working cap on and have to do a bit now. So I'm delighted. You know, I'm honoured to be a part of it. Honoured to be working on the show still, and even though I'm not on it, still to be a part of it is great.
You obviously, I know Tommy McCarthy was the first one, obviously had first done the Falls Park on a smaller scale. You obviously brought it to the next stratosphere sort of in 2019 when it's happened. Is it good for you to sort of look back now where you wouldn't have seen so much of it, all the cards, to be sort of there ringside watching it and seeing the next ones coming through to see, you sort of go, he's going to the next one the headline or he's going to be it. Is it intriguing for you to sort of look at that aspect rather than putting the gloves on and fighting yourself?
Oh, it is. It's different. Very different. Something I'm looking forward to experiencing. I haven't even watched like more than one fight. I think I watched a bit of Paddy Gallagher when he fought. I think it was Chris Jenkins.
Chris Jenkins, yeah.
I watched a bit of that. I think that's the only one I've actually ever really watched in the park. I think I watched probably Sean Come to actually when he came out his tune and stuff. So it's going to be a bit different, but something I'm looking forward to. And I think the boys will be ready to seize the opportunity of both hands. See who's next. Who's going to be headlining next. It could be Paddy again next year, or it could be me. I could be back at it next year. Who knows? But I'm looking forward to having a different experience at it, yeah.
I guess obviously when you ideally obviously planned, obviously I know and obviously with Brexit and everything else, obviously last year it didn't happen. I guess when you were planning for this year, the ideal scenario was probably you'd have been defending obviously a world title at it. Yeah. Does it sort of, I know we're not long obviously after the Lopez fight, but does it sort of ring back to you going, this could have been me defending the belt here, or you just don't sort of focus on that now, you sort of focus on everybody else?
No, simply because I would have fought men, I wouldn't have been here. You know what I mean? I still wouldn't have been here. It probably goes if I had beat Lee last year, it would have been that situation. But with challenging and just a May, I wouldn't have been fighting here. But who knows? It's still gonna happen.
I know I obviously haven't spoke to you obviously in the fight week obviously for the Lopez fight. I think it's sort of interviewing people at different times. I sort of missed you. I know obviously since obviously after the fight you were sort of saying it wasn't you. Does the Lopez fight? Is it the defeat of that harder than the Leewood fight? Obviously, I know with the Leewood fight, obviously you were ahead in the cards and everything else, and it was looking like you were going to win. With the Lopez fight, with not being yourself in the ring, was it a harder one to lose? Like I look at it now and I'm going, Craigie, Lopez was an absolute beast on the night. No disrespect to you, but obviously he just looked like he was totally on it, jumping into with big hooks and everything else. He just looked like a different animal on the night.
It's harder. It's much harder. Than the Leewood fight simply because it wasn't me, and that's why, knowing that I didn't turn up, knowing that I didn't perform, didn't follow no game plan, went to war instead of just boxing, because I could have done that, but I was off, I didn't show up and paid the price.
I guess even with the experience you've had obviously in the amateurs and everything else, it shows that you can have an off night. I know you've done interviews since and you're saying, in football and everything else, someone can make a mistake, someone's there to help them out. You as a boxer in the ring yourself, even though you've got a corner there, you've that sort of tunnel vision, you're going, I'm doing this, I'm focused on this. I guess obviously that makes it harder. Did you know that, if you'd have boxed the game plans, you'd have been standing here now still with a belt, doing open top buses and everything?
Oh, who knows? But yeah, listen, it's harder because simply it was the wrong things happened, things which I don't know why. And as I says, with footballers, they can rewrite a wrong, the week after. I've got to sit and dwell on it and listen to the criticism, listen to people saying pack it in and all this shit. So yeah, it's definitely much harder to take than if you were a footballer and you had an off day. But as a boxer, you get a lot of shade, so that's the way it is.
I've been defending you quite a lot, obviously, and things were sort of, as you well know, obviously you're going to have people that's going to slate you whether you win or you lose. There's sort of one big thing I've sort of said to people is Steve Collins. He obviously lost his first two world title fights. I know, and obviously he's now regarded as one of the best. People are very, very quick to obviously write you off and say you're never going to win a world title, but who are they to judge? Does that help in the aftermath, obviously, the fact of rekindling the fire to obviously build you up for the next one? You know, or do you just try and stay away from the sort of criticism that people give?
I haven't really thought about it, if I'm honest. I haven't really thought about it. But I'm sure it will. I'm sure it will kind of help, like, push on, rekindle things, and make you want to do it even more. But it's not something I've thought of too much. So I don't really know yet. But yeah, listen, I see loads of things, and as a fighter, you know, you get people, you get the armchair fans, you get people who just wanna see it fail anyway. No matter if you do well, they'll always criticise you. So I suppose you gotta think about it that way and just know what's coming. You know what I mean?
I guess in the aftermath, obviously, you've been out playing golf. Obviously, Jamie's been slagging you, obviously, for your golf. You've obviously launched, obviously, your own beer now as well. Obviously, talk to me, obviously, LeGra, is that how you pronounce it? Obviously, how's things going? I know you've been out in Spain and everything else, and now you've obviously the launch here in Belfast last night. It's sort of, you're dipping your toe in everything now, and I guess the good thing is you're probably maybe looking to after boxing. Obviously, if you can get it like McGregor had with proper 12, you'd be laughing.
Yeah, you'd be laughing, wouldn't you? No, I think you gotta have different things going on in life, and you know, different kind of business ventures to look at, because boxing doesn't last forever, and it's a sport that doesn't love you. So you gotta have different pathways, different gateways, and you know, the beer is one of those. And you know, fingers crossed it does well, and you know, who knows, we could end up like, you know, the McGregor type shit with a proper 12, and you know, even the stout and all that there. He's done unbelievable. What a inspiration in that kind of game he is, because he's done so well with it. And if the beer took off like that, you'd be delighted.
You'd be able to hang the gloves up probably sooner, although you're always going to want to box. You know, that's what, you can only do it for so long, but you're always going to want to box. But it'd be a nice day of obviously the pounds rolling in whilst you're fighting as well.
It would, wouldn't it?
Obviously, we've obviously Friday night, obviously, in it, and obviously Dublin's going to be announced. It's been a really big year. It's probably the biggest, obviously, year Conlan Boxing's had. Is this a year for sort of setting a statement moving forward? We've obviously Galway, we've obviously the SSE, Falls Park, RDS, and Galway again looking like as well. It's going to be a really, really busy year for Conlan Boxing.
Yeah, it's been busy, and we have been very busy throughout it all. And you know, I'm honoured to be part of it with my brother, and putting on these shows. And you know, I think we are making statements with the fighters we're signing and stuff. You know, we just signed Alex Delmagani, and I think he's a fantastic fighter. A fighter who I'll definitely use for sparring and everything now because we've got him. So, yeah, we mean business, and I think even with our stable now, if you even look at the guys in the card, look at Lewis Crowder. I think Lewis is probably the next person to headline here at home.
You obviously had the Ulster Hall in 2021.
I'm thinking of like the SSE and stuff, and I think he could be the man doing it. And you know, he's on the verge of some very big fights. Kurt, Kieran, all the boys, Sean, everybody's doing great, and you know, it's an honour to be a part of their journeys as well.
For you, obviously, is it? I know you've sort of said that now that you are coming back, obviously it wouldn't be probably right for you to obviously leave boxing in the way that wasn't you in the ring. When are you sort of looking to get back? Maybe November, December. I think Katie Taylor's looking like obviously the end of November. You may be looking at December, maybe potentially back at the SSE again.
Who knows? It looks like December time. Who knows whether it's, you know, a main event or not. Maybe I'll go on someone's other card somewhere in England or somewhere in America. Who knows? But I'll shake a few things up and do some things different.
Just obviously want to finally get your thoughts on obviously Spence and Crawford there at the weekend. Mega fight. Obviously, it's the fights we obviously wanted to see. Obviously, Bud had to leave Top Rank in order to get the fight done. But does that reinvigorate you? Sort of sometimes you see someone like Crawford put in a devastating performance like that.
No, I wouldn't necessarily say it does. I think, you know, the build up and stuff kind of reinvigorated me. You know, I was really enjoying the 24/7 type thing, and it was unbelievable that the boys, they put on such a show, such a fight. And Crawford, I've been honoured to be on his undercards and share main events with him. When I fought the Russian, me, him, and Tiafimo all shared the main event, and it was a special night. That, and getting to see him in person, I know how talented he is, and I even called 9 to 12. I've got a message proving it. So, yeah, he's a very, very good fighter.
I think I'd actually seen your post on Instagram. They say 9 to 12, obviously, in your story. So, as another wee one where you can say, people say sometimes you get predictions wrong. You don't know nothing about boxing, but
get predictions wrong. I never really get them right. But that was one, because I've seen him and know him up close. I just had that feeling he would win the job.
I think Jamie's actually worse at your predictions. Obviously, me and him have obviously the WhatsApp and say, what do you think for this fight? And he's thinking that, and then I'm slagging him. He's obviously usually the ones that know more about boxing than me and Al ever will. But obviously, I like it when I get one over Jamie to go, thought you said he was going to win there.
He's all right. He can get them right at times.
Well, listen, thanks very much for catching up as always. Obviously, I hope you enjoy, obviously, Friday night, and obviously, fingers crossed we can get you back in the ring soon and get you. I just wanted to sort of finally touch on where do you sort of look at your next route? I'd sort of mentioned to Jamie maybe it might be nice to become the 16th European champion. Would you maybe go back down as far as a European title or what?
100%, yeah, 100%. Now, whether it's the next fight or not, I don't think it will be because, as I said, I'm going to shake a few things up and make some changes and stuff. So, you know, I don't know if the next fight's going to be a European title fight, but there will be. I don't know.
A nice one to have. Obviously, Tommy McCarthy had it. Obviously, Frampton had it, and to become
Unbelievable title, and one that kind of puts you back in the shot window.
Is that for you? It's important now. Obviously, it's getting yourself back in the right window after the Leewood fight. You were devastating, obviously knocking everybody down. Is that the next thing for you now? It's like get myself back into contention, so you can obviously look at these fights again.
Yeah, you know, I think I need to get back into the contention, have, you know, an aim with them fights on. I got to earn my way back, and that's what I plan to do.
Well, listen, thanks very much for your time as always, and we'll catch up soon.
Yes, Stevie. Come on, cheers, mate.